Hey you guys, today we're going to be finishing off our second part to our video that we just did, and it was me currently talking about my current obsessions from the drugstore, and it was just focusing on drugstore makeup products that I've been using. So now we're going to do the high-end version of this. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of feedback on a bunch of products that I currently am going towards. Like the last couple of months, I find myself really gravitating towards these products, really reaching for them whenever I need something to work for me. These are the products that I love to go back to. So if you guys want to see my current obsessions for high-end makeup, then let's get into this. Choosing primers to talk about on this specific video was really difficult. I think when it comes to primers, I tend to spend more money on those things than I do with anything else. I can typically find a pretty good drugstore dupe for a lot of products I have in my collection, but primers are few and far in between. But when it comes to the high-end market, those are the primers that I find really difficult because there's so many to choose from and there's a lot of great options. So the first one I have is the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Soft Matte. It took me a while to fall in love with this product. So I find that in the winter months when I used it, I then noticed that it actually worked really well for my skin. I do love to use this underneath makeup because I find that it has a tacky base, so it holds onto my foundation really, really well versus some other primers. I don't feel like it does anything for like giving me a filtered look. I don't feel like it minimizes any of my pores, but it's just one of those primers where if my skin feels dehydrated, it really just moisturizes my skin and it really does a great job for prepping for foundation. Then the other one I wanted to mention is sort of similar to this one, but this here is the FARSALI SKINTUNE Blur. I've raved about this primer for a very long time here on my channel. I love it. I think it's such a great primer. I think it does a really good job at really kind of keeping my foundation in certain areas. While the Fenty Beauty is more tacky, this one I find dries really quickly on my skin. My T-zone area tends to be really finicky. Some days it really likes certain primers, other days it doesn't, and it just really depends. But whenever I use this, and you guys notice, I like to put it right here on my nose and right here in my pore area because I find that when I use it, it does a really good job at holding on to the foundation. I don't know what magicalness goodness is in this bottle, but it works for my skin. This is a really, really great like all over finish before you apply your makeup. It just makes the foundation look and feel good on the skin. When it comes to pores, I have specific pore primers that I use because I have pretty enlarged pores. I kind of really fell in love with this product because I felt like it did a dual purpose. This here is the Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Up Primer by Tarte. This product, when I first touched it, I thought it was going to be a lot easier to work with, but it's very chunky. So I find that the best way to apply it is to really rub it in between like two fingers, really kind of warm it up. So it is a little bit of a finicky product to start out with, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy to work with. I just did a foundation declutter not very long ago. Going through that foundation declutter, I really realized like what foundations I love and what foundations like drive me to want to repurchase it. So the one that I know for a fact that I would repurchase over and over and over, which is again the one I'm wearing today because I love it so much. It's the BAREMINERALS Bare Pro. This is the Performance Wear Liquid Foundation. There is something in this bottle that just works so well with my skin. When I put it on, it covers everything I need it to. It does a really good job at lasting power if you combine it with like a mattifying primer, if you're oily skin, or you combine it with like a really good powder, it will do wonders. They also have a pressed powder that can go with the foundation, so if you need like extra coverage, they do make those. I find this to be a right around a medium coverage. You can make it into a full coverage, but I think it does a really great job as being like a medium coverage foundation. The shade that I use is shade number 18, which is called Pecan. Again, I'm taking this one with me when I travel to California for 2 weeks, and I think it's the only one or maybe one or two foundations that I'm taking because I love it that much. I really recommend it. I think it's such a good foundation, and I really wish more and more people would talk about it because I don't know, I feel like it's a really great product. This one's new to me. It's been out on the market for a while. Ever since I got it, the first time I tried it, I fell in love with it, and it is what I go to all the time. And it is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. I can't ever say that. This stuff is magic in a bottle, you guys. Truly, truly is magic in a bottle. It is so lightweight underneath the eyes. It sets so nicely on top of concealer. It does not pick up the concealer. I don't know if you guys have this issue, but I do with some powders. After I put it on, it'll almost leave like these little dots or specks underneath my eyes if it doesn't pair well with a concealer. And it just does so well. It does really well if the concealer is really moisturizing. It does really well if the concealer is tacky. It just isn't a finicky product, and that's why I love it. And it's just so soft. Like, oh gosh, I just absolutely adore this product. I am late to the game on this, but you guys have got to try it out. Get a sample or something, but I'm telling you guys, it is a game changer. I think I've done a really good job at formulating an opinion on this palette, but this is the NARS Exposed palette. And I've gone back and forth, you guys. Right now, I've really been enjoying this palette. I've found myself using it a lot more. I just now take my brush and I just go all over the place. And it does a really great job. It creates a really nice soft finish, gives me a nice almost there blush finish, and it gives me a little bit of color, but it doesn't get overly colorful. I've mentioned this before in other videos where I've talked about this palette. This is a great, great palette option for you if you don't like a whole lot of color to your cheeks. If you want a little bit of blush or just a soft wash of blush, this would be a really great option. If you are somebody that is a little bit heavy-handed and you just want something of a lighter formula, this is really good. I wanted to talk about highlighters, but honestly, guys, I go through so many highlighters. There are so many great highlighters out there that I don't ever find myself gravitating towards just one, because I do like to use a lot of highlighters. So we'll move into eyeshadow palettes, because I'm sure you guys are like, well, what do you use? Like, you know, I use so many eyeshadow palettes, and I just always find myself gravitating toward this palette for some reason. Even though I do my Shop My Stashes and I test out a bunch of formulas and I test out a bunch of palettes here on my channel, I still always dive back to this palette. I like, every time I have to pull out an eyeshadow palette, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna use this one. And it's the Urban Decay Born This Way palette. It's called the Born to Run palette. Why did I say Born This Way? Probably because I'm so used to saying that. The formula in here is nothing like some of the other Urban Decay palettes that they have thrown out, and it's just one of those palettes that just works so well. There are so many great colors. It is a great, perfect, easy palette. There's so many options and endless opportunities. If you like coppers and golds and really nice like shimmers to your lid, this is a really great palette to have. I've even taken my finger and just kind of patted the chocolate brown onto the outer corner. That's how easy it is to work with. You can use your fingers, you can use brushes. Just a really, really great palette. I'm sorry if you guys can hear stomping around upstairs. My son is supposed to be cleaning his room, and I highly doubt he's doing that. So let's talk about brows really quickly. For brows, you guys know I go to the Precisely My Brow. Love this brow pencil. It is amazing. If you have brows like me where they're kind of sparse, this is a really good brow option to have. There are multiple shades, so they've been coming out with more and more shades to add to this line. It's got a really great light between, it's like a medium spoolie, so it does a really great job at really pushing the product into the hairs. Their Goof Proof brow pencil is really good. If you have a little bit more brow hair, you might really prefer that one. And then their brow powder is also really great as well. Then we're gonna finish off with some lip glosses. So I have a few lip glosses just by two brands, but the first one again is by Benefit. We'll start off with that. These are the Punch Pop glosses, you guys. I have the shade Bubblegum here, just holding up, but I love them all. They are all really, really great formulas. The color payoff is really great. It actually does have a really great pigmented color. It isn't tacky. It's got color, and you only need a little bit, but I have a few options that I love to choose from. My everyday like go-to lip gloss is the Pink Berry. If you have more pigmented lips like I do, then Pink Berry would be a really great option because it's kind of like your color but better, and it just really enhances your lips. But then we're gonna finish off with the NARS lip glosses, and NARS lip glosses are so good. These lip glosses just do such a good job at staying on my lips for a long period of time. What I like the most about this is that when the product comes off on the wand, it's not a lot. I put this on over lip liners or lipsticks. I don't really care to put these on over liquid lipsticks. If you like toppers, you'd really like this one also because the wand is actually like a plastic wand, but it's bendable. So it bends really nicely and it puts just a little bit and then you just kind of blend it out with your finger. The shimmer in this is very thin and very, very small, that when it dries down, it doesn't like leave just glitter on your lips. Like, you know how some lip toppers just like leave glitter after a while and you're like, oh my gosh, that looks terrible? This doesn't. This fades away really, really nicely, but you see, it just gives us such a beautiful glow. If you guys are wondering which one this one is, it's called Redemption. So gorgeous. Those are the products that I have been currently obsessing over for the last couple months. Oh, gotta push that back in. Let me know down below what you guys absolutely love right now currently that is a high-end product, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it. Also hit that subscribe button if you guys are new, and I will see you guys on my next video. I do upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I will see you guys then. Bye.